So we have the NCAA Women's College Lacrosse scores for Wednesday, April 8, 2026. So we have some games in conference play and non-conference play. So Siena defeats Marist 11-8, and they do midweek conference games as well to try to get every team a chance. Every team playing everyone in conference play, which I like. I do like the non-conference too, but it's nice that they get to be able to play everyone in conference. Too. I do like that. I do kind of like it mixed, whereas it depends also on the conference. If you have smaller conferences or like 8 teams, say 8 teams, you might play on the weekend. You might play a Saturday game, like a Sunday game. More like probably a Saturday game. No, lacrosse is more like a Saturday game. Sometimes you might play a Sunday game. Or maybe a TV game. Maybe TV. They might Big Ten Network or AC Network, SC Network, ESPN. They might put you on one of the ESPN networks. Like if it's ESPN Plus, it doesn't really matter. But if it's say a televised ESPN network, ESPNU or Conference Network, like AC or SC Network, they want you maybe playing at this specific time of day. So unless it hasn't moved up due to the weather, and then they might just re-air it at that time. They probably just re-air it at that time. So. Mm-hmm. So they'll probably just air it live on like the streaming platform, then put it live on at that time. So they already had that plan. Like not the school announcers. But anyways, we have CN 11-8 over Marist in Metropolitan Athletics Conference play. Vanderbilt 17-7 over Linwood. And then Fairfield 12-4. I'm not sure if Vanderbilt and Linwood is an American name in lacrosse. I know Linwood is in the OVC. I know Vanderbilt affiliates with the American for women's lacrosse since the SEC does not sponsor women's lacrosse or men's lacrosse. They don't sponsor either. But women's lacrosse is more popular than men's lacrosse. And then we have Fairfield 12-4 over Mount St. Mary's in Metropolitan Athletic Conference play, and then in Fairleigh Dickinson 13-6 over Mercer's in the Northeast Conference play. Niagara 17-7 in conference play, Metropolitan Athletic Conference. And then Youngstown State 13 over Duquesne in non-conference. Youngstown State affiliate. The Horizon League does not sponsor women's lacrosse, so they affiliate with the Horizon League teams affiliate with the Mid-American Conference in women's lacrosse. They have a combined conference, like a partnership. And then Quinnipiac 19-6 in conference play, and Hand 13 in conference play. Rowena, that's a Metro. Those are 2 Metropolitan Athletic Conference games. And then Delaware State and Howard, they affiliate with the Northeast Conference for women's soccer and women's lacrosse, since the MEAC does not sponsor either of those sports, women's lacrosse or women's soccer. Limon 23 win over Delaware State, and then Long Island University down at Central Gate 17-5. Nice's 8-7 over Sigurd. Stono 15-13 Ryder. South Florida played number 6 Florida in lacrosse. In game in women's lacrosse, and they played a game in softball on ESPN2, and number 6 Florida wins the lacrosse game as well, 14-8. New Haven 11-9 over Howard in Northeast Conference play. Number 8 James Madison took on number 22 Georgetown in the non-conference game. 13-7 James Madison beats number 22 Georgetown. And then SoCon teams, they affiliate with Big South teams in women's lacrosse. SoCon does not sponsor women's lacrosse. The Big South does. Some of these conferences, they don't have like enough members. Like in like women's lacrosse, they might have say the bare minimum to support, like women's lacrosse, but the SoCon does not, to make their own conference. So what they do is, if they like that SoCon had enough members to have their own conference, to have like a women's lacrosse conference, to have the SoCon be a women's lacrosse conference, they could Wofford could would play in the SoCon, and Winthrop would play in the Big South. But Winthrop Wofford does not affiliate Wofford, but they make a partnership. All these smaller sports like swimming and diving, like lacrosse, the sports that not every conference has enough has like the bare minimum members. At least the bare minimum number of members. Like baseball, softball. Not every school has baseball. Not every school has softball. But in those sports, they have like the bare minimum number of schools that compete in the sports to be able to say, hey, we don't need affiliate members, or we don't need to join the conference as an affiliate member. So 13-12 Wofford over Winthrop in Overton. East Granite 16-9 over William Mary. High Point 19-2 down blowout win over Radford. Mercer's 13-6 over Furman. In double overtime, Presbyterian defeats Gardner Webb 10-9. And that was a big comeback. Good comeback. Well, in the fourth, it wasn't a very high scoring. It was 4-1. But they needed that 4-1. It was 8-6. 8-5. Excuse me. It was 8-5. And then they made it 9-all, Presbyterian did. And then Presbyterian, when the second overtime, wins 10-9. They don't have overtime and then a shootout. They don't do that. They just go overtime. And they don't have ties either. They don't use ties after or they don't do like shootouts, like soccer, like how soccer is shootouts with the goalies, they just do they keep going on, and look, in Presbyterian wins 10-9 over, like I said, double overtime. And then in the featured ESPNU game, that was a 7 p.m. Eastern time game, and the Pennsylvania Quakers defeat the number 20 Princeton Tigers 10-9 in a Wednesday night game on ESPNU. What a win for the Pennsylvania Quakers. I wouldn't be surprised now if they end up becoming in the top 25 with a win over Princeton.